Well, this has really surpassed all of our expectations. This has just been phenomenal. We had thousands of people together in Manchester. This is, we believe, the largest gathering of cooperators in decades, in recent history. And it's been so exciting to be able to get from this conference in Manchester a plan for the future, this blueprint for a cooperative decade that's rooted here in the town that's so connected with cooperative principles and origins. Well, it's been fantastic. What it really has allowed us to do, I hope, is to demonstrate that ICA is really living up to the direction that the members set for us in Rome in 2008, 4 years ago. And it's taken us a while to get that plan developed and realign the organization. But I hope that we're seen as a more business relevant organization, that the data that we're reporting now in the World Cooperative Monitor is useful to cooperatives around the world as they make the case for the scale and the impact of the movement that they're part of. That the domains.coop that we're now the registrar for and the registry operator for, that people will see that this is helping to create a digital presence that is essential that cooperatives have if we're going to speak to the next generation, if we're going to find people where they are, if we're going to bring them in. Somebody told me this week that this is just wonderful. They said the only thing is, instead of calling it Cooperatives United, you should have called it United Cooperators. It's really individuals coming together. It's not just about the organizations. And I think that's true, and that's a theme that we have to pick up on too.
So I hope this week you've had enough time for yourself to experience the conference itself. Have you got any memorable moments?
Oh, I have. There really is a flood of moments that really have made the impression for me that's just all positive. But one that really stands out was the closing remarks of the Director General of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, who spoke to at our opening ceremony on Wednesday. And he spoke first about the food crisis, which is such a horrifying idea that you can have a crisis of people going hungry at the scale that we're talking about, and that is projected to just get worse unless we really change. And the cooperatives certainly are central to the solution, and he knows that. But his closing remarks really struck me because he pointed out that really the cooperatives, and ICA as the emblem of cooperatives, really deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. And he suggested that that's really something that needs to be pursued, and I like that thought. I think we do deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, and I think that when you look at what it is that cooperatives have done to bring together people, to bring together communities, to solve these kinds of intractable world's problems, it's something that needs recognition and appreciation by the public because it is inspiring. There is. What we need to do is capture the tone without necessarily capturing the model all the time, because our conference has to be in different locations because it's a big world. We have cooperatives everywhere, and they shape the cooperative sector and the cooperative movement in different ways. So next year, for example, will be the first time in over a century, or the first time in our history, which is over a century, that the International Cooperative Alliance is bringing cooperatives together on the continent of Africa. And we'll be next November in Cape Town, South Africa. And we need to make sure that we think about what is it about Africa, the promise there, the potential there, the role that cooperatives should play. What is it about that should shape the structure of that conference, the program, the themes, the mood, the tone, so that we have a similar experience of all positive without necessarily thinking that we have the same kind of booths and exhibits and pods and structure. And we need to let the people in Africa help shape that. But what we want is people leaving with the same sense of enthusiasm, inspiration, cohesion, optimism that they're leaving Manchester with today, so that even though we're going to 100 different countries, we're really going in the same direction. Well, it's that we'll be sending out the next version of the blueprint, which reflects the comments we've heard here, reflects the feedback we receive from members in 100 countries around the world. We'll have that out right at the start of the new year. We'll spend November and December to redraft it, and we'll send it right early January. And then we'll be putting together a specific implementation plan from that. So we hope that they'll stay tuned for that blueprint, that they won't just close the International Year of Cooperatives in December, but they'll really see this as a foundation for a cooperative decade and prepare to move from a sprint to a marathon.